Welcome to the end of another working week. It's Friday afternoon on this day that I'm videoing, Valentine's Day actually, and I have just finished work. Well, my paid work, that is. It is always such a great feeling, isn't it, to leave the work building and know that the next 48 hours are your own to do what you like. But what do you do when the thought of going home to what is meant to be a haven for you actually makes you feel stressed and overwhelmed? When you leave your paid workplace and go to your unpaid workplace. Let's talk about 3 things that I know really help me out when I'm feeling like this, and hopefully it might encourage you as well. So, I'm a very practical person in nature. If you know anything about the Love Languages book, you would know that the authors write about the 5 love languages of physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, and acts of service. Most of us can identify 1 or 2 of these languages as being our primary love language, the way in which we, truly feel loved. A strong one for me is acts of service, most definitely. My kids now know that if they want to help me feel loved and cared for the most, all they have to do is some chores around the house, hopefully without being asked though, and this will immediately fill up my tank. For you, you might need regular positive and encouraging words spoken to you, or daily hugs, or a really thoughtful and meaningful gift given to you. We all get our tanks filled in different ways in comparison to the next person. And it's quite apt to be speaking about this on Valentine's Day because I haven't actually pre-planned this video as to what it would be about exactly. But when you are feeling overwhelmed with all there is to do at home, or even just overwhelmed in general, what are the actions you can take to help you fill up your tank, to help you decompress, to feel like you have calmed the burden and overwhelm a little? For me, there are 3 very practical things I know that I can do that will quickly help me to feel that I have taken positive action, helped myself in some way, helped my family and my home as well. The first thing I'm doing on this afternoon is to start cleaning. Part of the feeling of overwhelm for me is that I know that after I finish my work outside of my home, the never-ending work inside of my home is still waiting for me. Like many, I don't have a weekly cleaner who comes in and blitzes the house while I'm at work. And you come home then to a lovely clean space. But I have had a cleaner in the past when I had 3 kids under the age of 3.5. So I celebrate with you if you are able to have a cleaning service because I get it, absolutely. We live in a time where there doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day, with parents who work full time, after school and weekend activities, animals that need walking, kids that need chaperoning here and there. At the end of the day, something has to give, doesn't it? There is a thing we say that I'm sure we have all referred to at some point that goes something like, the housework can wait, or the housework will just have to wait. But I don't believe this is always the case, or even a very healthy mindset to fall back on, not as a constant fallback anyway, because sometimes the work in our homes cannot wait any longer. Sometimes it gets to the point where it is screaming at us to sort it out, deal with it. The research is well documented, talked about, and very clear that the spaces we live and work in will have either a huge positive or negative effect on our mental health and well-being, and that of our families as well. A chaotic, disorganized, untidy, cluttered home will increase stress, which affects almost every system in our bodies. It decreases our ability to focus, it impairs learning and creativity, it inhibits good habits and choices, it affects the quality of our sleep, our relationships, our self-esteem. It even influences our eating and snacking behaviour. So it is easy for me to understand and comprehend that sometimes the housework actually can't wait any longer. You not only see what your home looks like, but you feel what it looks like as well. And believe me when I say that I am a very untidy person naturally. My family and friends can attest to this. I can make the excuse of being a single parent, a full-time working parent, a low energy person, perimenopausal. But at the end of the day, whoever we are, our homes will always reflect the sum of the habits, systems, organisation, effort, and time we choose or don't choose to put into our homes. I say to my friends sometimes, oh, it's unfair that you are a naturally early riser. You have so many more hours in the day to get stuff done. But in reality, we all have the same hours in the day. So, taking the time to prioritise cleaning in my home is one way that I help to settle the feeling of overwhelm. I started by taking my curtains down and putting them in the washing machine. My dog and cat like to sit at the window and look out to the street, but it means that the curtains get orange and brown hair all stuck to them. So I'm grateful that I can put them into the machine. Items got taken back downstairs to the garage, skateboards and scooters and the chili bin. Recycling I took out to the rubbish bin, paper clutter I tidied off the table, dead flowers removed from the vase, and the dust wiped off my table. The rubbish bin needed a good wipe over, and the wall and the floor behind my bin were disgusting. So that got a thorough scrub and wipe down as well. The general tidying up of the kitchen never actually takes that long when you just decide to start. And I do usually try to have a tidy kitchen by the end of each evening, but sometimes life stuff just happens, and this week was one of them. But it doesn't take much of an effort to load the dishwasher, put things away, hand wash a few dishes, and wipe the benches down. If you are struggling to know where to start, though, in your home and are feeling overwhelmed, I have a video where I talk through 5 principles you can easily and gradually implement into your week. These will start building habits and routines into your daily life that will ultimately make your home easier to manage. I'll link it up the top for you if you would like to go and check that out. Next, I gave my very dirty blind and overhead table light a wipe down. The light was terrible with fly dirt and dust all over it. I didn't realise it had got so bad, especially the amount of dust that had accumulated on top of it. So it felt good to get this cleaned. Vacuuming has to be an everyday task at the moment in my household, as my chocolate Labrador is either shedding or having clumps of hair pulled from her regularly. It's summer in New Zealand at the moment, so yeah, this is obviously just a seasonal thing that happens every summer. Another job I really wanted to achieve this afternoon was to wipe down my kitchen baseboards and get into the corners, as the mop never quite gets into these spaces very well. The second thing I like to do to help me feel less overwhelmed is to do regular decluttering and organising. And this corner cupboard is a constant nemesis in my kitchen, so I'm going to tackle it today. One thing I know for sure is that decluttering has to be a habit that we build into our daily or weekly routines, otherwise the never-ending stream of stuff that comes into our homes becomes unmanageable. I've got appliances, my slow cooker, food processor, baking tins and dishes, amongst other things in here. I did put 2 shelves in here a while ago to maximise the vertical space, but it's still an awkward cupboard to maintain. So everything comes out, I wipe down the shelves and place it back in a more functional way. I did put all of the appliances on the bottom shelf, as these are not used every day or even every week necessarily. I did have a metal filing stand that fits perfectly in here, to stack vertically my baking trays, cooling racks, and cake tin base. This uses the space so much more efficiently. I put my less used items at the back of the top shelf and tried to spread the rest out so that items weren't stacked and jumbled all together, making it, hard to see what was actually in there. I know this is not the last time I will have to rearrange this cupboard, but it definitely makes my brain not feel so overwhelmed when I open it. And the third thing that I know is so important to keep the feeling of overwhelm in check is to get outside regularly and move your body. As we know very well through research, evidence, and people's own testimonies, exercise and sunlight are powerful boosters, energizers, and lifters for our mental health and well-being. If you have a dog that needs walking, then this is a great incentive to get moving and soak up some sunlight and vitamin D. Even my 12-year-old Labrador cannot wait to get outside each day. If you are a morning person, then utilize that time and energy to walk or run, or meet a friend after work and get the double whammy of relationship and exercise at the same time. Even if you don't feel like going out, the times that you make yourself get out into nature will never be time wasted. It will always benefit you in some way. It is actually how our bodies were designed to function in the best way possible. So, to recap, the 3 things I recommend to help with the feeling of overwhelm in your home are to get some cleaning done, keep decluttering and organising, and get out into nature, move your body. Treat yourself to some self-care and love on Valentine's weekend, and try to make a start on these 3 things. I hope this has encouraged someone. It always is a work in progress, but for sure, regular habits will set us up for a win. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and have a great week, everyone. See you next time. Bye.